Okay, so I'm going to do a Christmas tradition video, and yes, I'm in the bathroom. It's like the only place that I can kind of come and get peace and quiet. So, I kind of did a list. I made a list of old and new traditions. So I'm going to just jump right in, and it's not in any particular order or anything, but I just kind of wrote them down, and I'll compare what we did when I was younger to now. So we always had an advent calendar. We used to get like the little cheap ones that you could get at the dollar store for $1. Yeah, we started that on December 1st. Most people have one. And it runs until the 24th, I believe. Some of them have one for the 25th, but most finish on the 24th. So we had an advent calendar when I was younger. We have an advent calendar now. Not me, but my son. But nowadays, it's a Kinder Surprise one. So it's a little more expensive than your typical $1 one. Chocolate's a little bit better in those. When we were younger, my grandparents were alive back then. They would come over every morning. Now, I was always so excited for Christmas, so I was up at like 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. Some Christmases I would even spend the night at my grandparents' place, and then we'd all go over to my parents' place. And they would watch us open our presents and all that, and then we would head over to their place and watch them open theirs. So that's what we did when I was younger. Now that I've got my own family, we open our gifts here, and then we head over to my parents' place to see what they got. And then we usually have breakfast and that, but I'm going to get into that later on. So we just open our own gifts here, and then we head over to my parents' place. We always did lots of baking. I always helped my mom bake stuff. And then she'd make up tins and give some away to people. We still do that. We do a bunch of baking. I do my own baking now as well. She does baking, and she still gives me tins of goodies. Because I just stick to like cookies and stuff, whereas she kind of makes like squares and different things like that. Visiting Santa at the mall. I did that when I was a kid. We always used to go. And back then you'd pay like $5 or whatever, and you could get your picture taken with him. Now we visit Santa wherever he's going to be. Sometimes he's at BMR, sometimes he's at the mall, sometimes he's at just different stores. So wherever he is, depending. And when he goes to like BMR, he brings little tiny baby goats, and they're just so cute. So we go there, and we take our own pictures, so it doesn't cost anything. When we were younger, not necessarily on Christmas Eve, but during that week, we would drive around and we would look at Christmas lights. Just in the neighborhoods, like just as some of them they kind of do it up really big and stuff. So, and we still do that. We still drive, whether it's me, whether it's my parents or my sister, somebody always takes the kids and goes and drives around looking at Christmas lights. And then they stop by Tim's and get a hot chocolate and all that fun stuff, so it's fun for the kids. We always wrote letters to Santa and got responses from him. The kids do the same thing now. Sometimes they do it with the school. Riley usually writes his, and then we send it to the mail, and the mail mails it to the North Pole, and then the kids get a letter back from Santa. We leave milk and cookies for Santa. Always did, and we still do. Doesn't everybody? Like, I don't know. Some people, I think, leave beer. I'm not sure, but I don't. We just leave milk and cookies for Santa. Another thing that we used to do, and we still do, is we would open one gift on Christmas Eve. After supper and everything was said and done, we'd sit down, and everybody had one gift that they could open on Christmas Eve. I know some people around here, like mostly like the French and I think like a lot of the Catholic people, they go to church at midnight here, and then when they get home is when they open up their gifts, and then in the morning, whatever Santa brings or whatever, that's what the kids get to open like the next day. But for the most part, they open it at night. We've thought about doing that, but it's just, to me, that's not Christmassy. Everybody has their own traditions. It's just not something that we were ever fond of trying. So, when we were younger, we'd just go, and back then, like, because where I live, it's a tiny little road, and it's got 2, 4, 5, it had 7 houses with people in it, and now, there's so many people that passed away and stuff. There's 2 houses there, and then 2 houses here, and then 1 house. So 2, 4. There's 5 places that have people, and the neighbor, he's like he's young. We don't. I don't imagine we're gonna go visit him, and he's probably goes to his parents' place for Christmas. I know there's a bad glare. So yeah, when we were younger, we'd just go and visit everybody back here. We'd go to each house and just visit for a little while on Christmas Eve. Now, wait a second. Okay. So yeah, now, basically, we'll just go to my mom's place on Christmas Eve. My sister's there and my niece. And we eat. Over the years, we've done different foods, finger foods, pizzas, Chinese food. We've done all different kinds of different foods on Christmas Eve. This year, I believe that we're getting some like chicken wings and chicken, and we're probably just going to get some salads. I'm going to make a macaroni salad. They're going to buy a coleslaw, and we're probably just going to do some fries, and yeah, so we're just going to have like a little get together. We just have like finger foods and stuff like that for supper. And then we play games. My mom went and picked up some little gifts so that we can play some different games, and we play outside. 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, the kids went caroling just back here for whoever was home. They just stood outside and sang, so that was cute, but yeah. That's not something that we do anymore because there's barely anybody back here. And, yeah. So, what else is there? Opening gifts. Is it still on? Yeah. Stockings. Okay, so when we were kids and now, like Riley, that's the first thing that he opens is his stockings. He gets one from us, and usually Santa brings one. When we were kids, we used to have, like, big apples and oranges. I don't know where my parents got them from, but, that's what we used to have in our stockings. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know where they got their apples and oranges from, but it wasn't typical ones from the store. Now, what we do is, and my son's, we've been doing this since he was been born, he's used to it. We wake up, make coffee, hot chocolate for him, and like while I'm getting that ready, he usually opens his stocking, and then we sit down and have some hot chocolate, and then start slowly opening up our gifts. And when I was little, on Christmas morning, after we opened all our gifts, like I said, we would go to my grandparents' place. Well, after we were done there, we'd go to everybody's house because it's like we were all family. So we would just go to everybody's house and see what they got and play with the kids and, you know, different things like that. So that's what we did. We went and visited the neighbors, and we did like little gift exchanges when we were little too. So we don't do any of that anymore. But and then the neighbor up the road, he's still there. He would cook like a huge breakfast, and everybody from back here would go to his place. We'd all get together and have a big Christmas morning breakfast at his house. So that was fun, and we did that for years. And then, like I said, everybody started getting sick and passing away, and it's not something that we did anymore. But now, our tradition is, so we open our gifts here, we go to my parents' place in the morning, we see what they got, and then we help my mom, we make a big breakfast, we eat, and the kids can play with their toys and whatnot all day. We usually help to get stuff ready for supper, because we usually have that's when we have our big turkey dinner. Excuse me. Kids play outside, play with their toys, all that fun stuff. So now, instead of meeting up at the neighbor's place and having a big breakfast, we usually just have it at my mom's house now. There's been a couple times she's invited everybody down, but it's usually just us. Two things that we do that's like different that we didn't do when we were kids is, number one, now on TV they have a Santa tracker that you can, Christmas Eve you can track to see where Santa is. So the kids really enjoy that. That's what they look forward to every year. We sit down after we do our games and that, and my mom usually gets them a box, and it's like a Christmas Eve box. And there's like pajamas and a hot chocolate, popcorn, movie, socks, like just different things like that. She does them up. She's got 2 grandkids, my son and my niece, and she does that up, and they open that, and that's the gift that they're allowed to open on Christmas Eve. That is usually the gift that they open, so that it's something useful. They can get into their jammies, and then we just relax for the rest of the night. We watch TV, watch movies, play games, talk, just hang out. Yeah. And so that's what we do on Christmas Eve. And then and we watch for the Santa tracker to see where he is. And the other thing that we do, I've been doing this I didn't start when my son was a baby. I started when he was old enough kind of to understand, is the elf on the shelf. We didn't have that when we were kids. So, that's definitely been a tradition. Every year my son waits for his elf to come back. So, and they are leaving in 8 days. Yay. So, anyways, so that is my list of Christmas traditions. I don't think I forgot anything. It's getting so bright in here. We're getting ready to go snowshoeing and break our trail. So if you guys want to watch that, stay tuned, because that'll be on my Vlogmas Day 16. Breaking the trail. So yeah, I keep getting distracted, sorry. So that is my list of traditions. I don't think I forgot anything. I kind of sat down this morning when I was having my coffee and thought about all the different things that we do, and I don't think I forgot anything, but if I do, I will just put it in the description as I think of it. I am going to put this video on Country Girl's channel. Like, she just kind of did a collab, and whoever wanted to join in. So I said that would be fun, doing a Christmas tradition list. So I will I'll leave her link in the description. And if you guys are interested in joining, feel free to leave me your link or the link to your video for your Christmas traditions in the comments, and I will add it to, like, I'll kind of do up a little list in the description, and if you guys want to check out other people's traditions, then that is awesome too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a big thumbs up, and thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.